Yo, this is illmage with another review slash commentary. So for this one, I was duo queued with Bob's. So it was nice having someone you're familiar playing with on the team. Looking at the other team, they have Static Kiwi, who's a pretty good seeker. Probably playing with Faldoma on beater, so they have a pretty good team there. And we have Mako playing seeker. He generally plays beater, but pretty good at the game in general. So it could be a pretty good game. Seen Dragonfire around a little bit. Yeah, let's get into it and see what I could have improved. For this one, I'm starting to also try to get into using focus camera a little bit more, which is still throwing me off a little bit, but I just need to fly around with it more and get used to it. So for kickoff, I'm forward, so I'm going to try to reverse kick it back to Bob's. This is something you can do mainly if you're like working with your team on it or they know you're going to do it in your forwards, where you just do the normal tackle one timer, but then you hit reverse cam, so it's going to throw the ball backwards, and then the teammate would be holding one timer forwards, and you just kind of like steer it a little bit, and generally it'll get past all three of these chasers because they're moving forward, and it'll just be kicked forward. But I didn't really communicate with Bob's, or we were both forwards, so we both tried to do it, and yeah, it just kicked it back to Khalil instead of one of us. Luckily, he like caught it and still moving forward. He throws it over to Bob's, so I just set up for the one timer. Bob's goes for a crazy off the wall shot here, which is always cool to see. And he just dunks it in the top hoop. So yeah, right here, I should be looking for the seeker. I don't think I did a good job this game of looking for it. I think I was trying to mess around too much with the focus cam. And I didn't do a good job at that either. Lucia gets the pickup. I'm just kind of doing nothing at this point. Trying to catch up because I see he's moving slow, so I'm able to get back and get the steal. I should have done like a drift turn right here on this when I had already missed. Like when I went for that, I should have just like drifted and turned like at a really hard angle instead of this really like slow turn, getting those rings. But I'm able to make it back anyways and get the steal. So I just pass it up to Bob's, and here I'm looking for seekers to punch. Try to help Mako out a little bit. I'm able to get the punch on Kiwi there. Bob's is just attacking. He's able to score. The seeker should be out by the time the hero comes out. I whiff. This wasn't even close. I think this is something I do too much, is I go for too many over eager tackles that like there's no way it would have hit. So right here I'm trying to pressure the beater because the seeker's already like way past for my whiff. So now I'm not going to be able to catch up to them. So I see the beater with the bludger in hand, so you can just punch them and it'll like send the bludger away. The reason I dodged is because he might have like targeted me and thrown the bludger. So he also dodged because he thought I was going to punch him. But I'm still just looking for him so I can punch the bludger, and you saw it became like a loose bludger after I punched him, just to like get some pressure off of our seeker. So now he could only tackle him and he'll have a cooldown on the summon. Khalil, in the meantime, is able to get the quaffle. He's able to go for the 1v1. These chasers aren't going to make it to him anyways, but it's generally good to get punches on them to like kind of keep your chaser free and have as much time as possible, because that like slows them down a bunch. Khalil dunks it. So here I'm just looking for Kiwi. I'm pretty sure I meant to punch Kiwi here, but Faldoma kind of soaks it, and then Kiwi would have dodged anyways. So that kind of just worked out. Right now they're both low. Bob's gets another punch on Faldoma, so he's 4 health. So I'm looking to go for him. He takes like a really like hard turn right here. I should have punched like sooner because it just like lost the lock from his hard turn. And now Kiwi's probably regenerating health. I'm still looking to hit Faldoma because he's low health. So I get the punch on him. He's 2 health now. Or, no, he's 3 health. He got 1 tick of regen before I punched him. Khalil is still scoring. So while I'm kind of pressuring the beater and seeker here, Khalil and Bobs have been able to generate a lot of offensive pressure. Faldoma is still low, but he's starting to regen. He sends a black backwards bludger. This is something that you should be aware of, is a beater can go reverse camera, same way we can, and throw a bludger like directly back at you. So if you're trailing a beater, just like be aware that they could just throw a bludger just like that, which is going to come really quick. So just be aware that that's something that can happen. Meanwhile, Faldoma's regenning. I go for the one-timer on the pass. I know I'm not going to punch Faldoma, and I think that might have been a hero, but I see that I'm right between this guy. I can see where he's aiming. He's like kind of aiming like right at me, and the chaser that was like right there that just flew by. So I'm trying to be like between him and that, and I'm able to get the one-timer. So one good way to play more defensives is get in between the passing lanes of the enemy chasers and just hold your one-timer. You generally don't want to aim like directly at them. Like you're probably looking at them to intercept the pass, but you want to, when the ball's loose, you want to aim anywhere else to prevent just kicking it like directly back at them. But you just hold the one-timer and it's going to intercept the pass. You don't have to worry about like positioning perfectly and get the tackle. You just hit the one-timer and it's going to bounce it. And then most of the time you can recover it because you know where it was going to bounce. And then I just go for a normal dodge tap shot. And he just went a little bit too slow. So now I should be looking for the Seeker. Seeker race is pretty close. We're up a little bit, although he's got a bump and it's pretty equal now. I'm just looking for Kiwi. I go too high. Let's see. Yeah, he just like went over when he saw me up above him. I probably should have come more from this side, I think. And I should have been punching the chaser there probably. Get like one punch on him because I wasn't going to catch Kiwi on the turn. But now I'm just trying to like follow him. He's moving a little bit slow here. I think he went for a bump there. Probably to use it as like a dodge, but that like slowed him down like a lot. So I was able to catch up and get the tackle on him as he's like kind of slowly swerving from the dodge. But yeah, at this point I should just focus Seeker. I should just abandon. Bob is able to get the intercept. Passes it to Khalil so we can both focus on Kiwi. They're moving well. So I'm not able to get there. They're kind of swerving here. And they're a little bit ahead of Mako, but they take a sharp turn there to avoid the keeper, I think. I don't know if the keeper would have come out to kick him, but that's generally good practice. I'm still just looking for Kiwi. I'm able to get the punch on him. I looked a little bit too much there at the quaffle, I think. I should have just fully stayed on, like I go focus camera for a second. I should have just kept focusing on Kiwi here. I am able to get the punch, and he got hit at the same time. He like super comboed. Like I punched him and he got hit by the bludger at the same time, so now he's 3 health. Super in danger. Me and Bobs are both on him. I punched Faldoma just to get him off of Mako because he had the bludger. And Mako's able to get the catch there on the corner. I think that was played pretty well by us of getting a lot of pressure on Kiwi, especially right at the end when their bar was close. Just me, Bobs, and the beater were all just kind of on top of him. So I'm back here. I move a little bit forward. I should have just stayed back. I think Bobs was trying to go for the reverse one-timer to me. So I moved forward a little bit so it would lock on, but he was a little bit far back, and Warden was on the other team, and he was forward, so he was able to get the kick over my head. And now I'm going a little bit slow. He has a bit more momentum than me from the turn. So he's able to get that and dodge before I could steal. And he just gets the shot. So this is a good example of when you're back, unless you're like really like working, like if this guy was going forwards, he's saying, I'm going to kick it back to you. If you're back, it's just generally good to back up and go upwards. So that way you can kind of prevent this kind of thing, because I could have just caught that and just started moving it forwards again. But Gordon did a really good job of just applying the pressure like immediately. And because all three of us were forward, none of us were back there to help the keeper. I go for the punch on Faldome here, but I just whiff. He wasn't trying to dodge or anything. I just tackled late. He gets the limb on our beater. Right now, we're just positioning at like 40%. Me, Bob's trying to get the quaffle. I'm a little bit ahead of Bob's, kind of looking for the pass. I do a pretty bad job here. I'm like directly in front of him. And this guy's kind of like in between us. I should have gone like up more. Oh, it wasn't even that guy. This guy just kind of came. I should have kept going this. I should have just kept going to the right side here, instead of like crossing back like directly in front of him. I kind of like I like kind of forced him to have a bad pass there. He gets a little too close. So if you get too close to the hoop, and he was a little bit low, it like bounced off the bottom rim here. It gets a little weird when you get too close to the hoop. So here I catch it. I could just like turn around and start moving forward, but I just kind of hope that our chasers are close-ish. So I go reverse cam. I could have gone to either one. They're both in range, but I just throw it to the first one I see. And once it's locked on, it's just going to stay locked on. It's not like a keeper like kick out. So it just stays locked on Khalil all the way. And here, I'm just looking for the seeker. I see him coming back. I don't know why it goes slow like that. I see him coming back, so I'm going for a punch. I saw the lock on for a second, so I was in range for a second there. But it just fizzles out. I must have just been too far, or I just missed a little bit. I should have like kept the pressure on him, honestly. I should have turned around and gone for him on the corner, but I see we're 1 point away, so I'm probably thinking like we could just go for one more goal and end it. Oh, I get a really bad whiff here. I think I see him doing like a little bit of wiggling. So like he was going left here, so I start going left, but he just wiggles to the right. And I whiff. I like bit kind of hard on that. He didn't even dodge. He just it's just steering. That right there is like the power of just like controlling yourself with little micro movements. You don't even have to invest like a dodge. Just like faking you're going that way and then just turning can get people to just bite like that. So I should have been a little bit more careful, but he just steered well there. Our original keeper had quit, so that guy might have joined late, and he wasn't able to react in time. But yeah, they get another score. We're all just kind of sitting at like 40% field, looking for the ball. He kicks it out. It locks onto Bob's here, and he has the breakaway. No one's around, so Bob's going for a 6 shot. He goes for a pass on the back wall, which is going to take a bounce. It might seem a little erratic, but if you go in practice mode and throw it against the wall a bunch of times, you'll get like a bit comfortable with the lineup, and it bounces back to him. And here he's drifting and holding one timer, and he's able to kick it pretty far from the side there, right into the top hoop and score it. So that was a pretty cool goal to see. I probably wouldn't recommend this unless you've tried it a bunch and are comfortable, but we were up like 90-20, so it's always safe to go for that. And that was a pretty quick win, but yeah, I think there was a lot of stuff to, look at and improve for myself, like specifically the tackles, and also I need to get more comfortable with going into quaffle focus cam. That's definitely something I really don't do enough of. So that's what I'm going to continue practicing with that. But yeah, that's it for this video, and have a good rest of your day, guys.